Hello students, let me ask you a question. If somebody asks you what is your weight and if you say just 50, so like you have given the complete answer, what more you need to give to make your answer perfect? So that extra information that you need to give is what? So let's discuss about that, and in this video we'll see what is unit, what is meant by unit, and what are the different system of expressing these units. Okay, so let's start with the presentation. Now let's understand the concept of standards and units. So we'll discuss in this what is standard and what is units. The physical quantities are expressed in terms of fundamental quantities. Okay, so physical quantities are expressed in terms of fundamental quantities. So what are these fundamental quantities? Fundamental quantities are defined by the measurements and expressed by standards. Okay, so fundamental quantities are defined by measurements and expressed by standards. So what are measurements then? Measurements are a comparison with a standard. Okay, so the standards are defined and universally accepted by the competent authority. So these standards are defined, they are defined and they are also universally accepted by the competent authority. So now let's discuss what is meant by unit. Okay, so let's understand more about it. So unit is any standard measure which is used to express a physical quantity. Any standard measure which is used to express a physical quantity is known as a unit. Okay, so these are the three important characteristics of units. One is the convenient size, which is not too large and which is not too small, and this unit is also universally followed, and it is invariable with the physical conditions. That means it's not going to be varied depending upon the conditions. Though the conditions are varied, the unit is not going to be changed. So that's why it is called, it is invariable with physical conditions. Okay, so let's discuss more about it. So now let's first understand what are meant by fundamental units and what are meant by derived units. So first in this we'll see what are fundamental units. The fundamental units are used to express the fundamental quantities which are not expressed in any other form. So the units which are used to express the fundamental quantities, okay, so which are not expressed in any other form. So examples, if you take mass, m, length, l, time, t, so these three are the fundamental units which are used to express the fundamental quantities. And so then what are derived units? What are derived units? So derived units are those units which are expressed in terms of the fundamental units. So remember, the derived units are expressed in terms of the fundamental units. That means they are expressed in terms of mass, length and time. Example, if you take area, volume and speed. Area is meter square, that is the length of the square. So it is expressed in terms of length. Volume is also expressed in terms of length. Speed, which is expressed in terms of length and time. So these three units, if you say example, are expressed in terms of the fundamental units, that are mass, length and time. Okay, so let's discuss more about these derived units. So derived units, so let's see some of the physical quantities. Area is a physical quantity, the relation with other basic quantities. So how this area is expressed in terms of the fundamental quantities, that is it is the length square, L square. So length is meters, length is measured in meters, so it is having SI units, meter square. Similarly volume is the length cube, that is L cube, so it is having units meter cube. Similarly density, what is density? Density is mass per unit volume, that is mass by volume. So that mass is kg and volume is what? Volume is length cube, so it is meter cube. So it is kg per meter cube is the density. So the speed is other physical quantity whose units are derived from the fundamental units. The speed is the distance travelled per unit time. So it is the length divided by time, that is the length is measured in meters, divided by the time is in seconds. So, it is meter per second. Similarly, acceleration, which is meter per second square. So, these are the units which are derived from the fundamental units. And yeah, density. Density is what? The mass of the sample by volume of the sample. So, it is mass by volume, which has the units kg per meter cube. Okay. So, yeah, these are some of the physical quantities which are derived from the basic quantities. The force. Force is what? Mass into acceleration. So, it is product of mass into acceleration. Mass is measured in kgs, acceleration is a derived unit which is meter per second square. So, force is kg meter per second square in SI units, and which is simply known as Newton, that is denoted by capital N. Similarly, pressure. So, pressure is what? Pressure is force per unit area. So, it is force divided by area. Okay. So, which is measured in pascals. Similarly, energy. Energy is what? It is a product of force into distance travelled. Force into distance travelled, L. Okay. So, force is kg meter per second square, kg meter per second square into the distance travelled into into M. Okay. So, this is expressed in joules. Okay. So, these are some other derived units. Now, let us see the system of units. The system of units. So, we have different system of units. One is FPS, in which this F means it is foot, P means pound, S means second. Okay. So, these are the three, it is a system in which that mass is expressed. Mass, we have three fundamental quantities, mass, and other is length, and the third one is time. So, time is expressed in seconds. Foot is, the length is expressed in foot, and mass is expressed in pound. Okay. So, this is one system of units, what is FPS, and second one is CGS. That means C for centimeter, the C for centimeter, the G per gram, and S for second. Okay. So, this is a other system in which that length is expressed in centimeters and mass is expressed in grams, the time is expressed in seconds. So, we have one more system, that is MKS. In MKS, the mass is expressed in kgs. Instead of grams, we express that mass in kgs, and so mass is expressed in kgs, length is expressed in meters, the time is expressed in seconds. Okay. So, in all these three systems, the time is expressed in seconds only, but the mass and length are expressed in different units. So, it is FP, CGS and MKS, where M is for meter, K is for kg, S is for second. Okay. So, these are the three system of units, and we have one more system, that is a modified version of the MKS system. So, it is a modified form of MKS system, that is known as SI system. So, in SI system, in MKS system, we have only three fundamental quantities. One is mass, length and time. But in SI system, we have four fundamental units, and those are Kelvin, candela, ampere and mole. They are also expressed as fundamental units, in which the Kelvin is used to measure, it is used to express the temperature, and candela is for the luminous intensity, and ampere is for current, and mole is for the quantity of matter. Okay. So, the difference between MKS and SI is, in MKS we have only three fundamental quantities, mass, length and time, but in SI, additional to these three fundamental quantities, we have four more fundamental quantities that are taken in SI system. So, temperature, luminous intensity, current as well as the quantity of matter. Okay. So, these four more fundamental quantities we have in SI system. So, yeah, SI system, it is international system of units, which is we have 7 basic quantities: length, mass, time, current, temperature, luminous intensity and amount of the substance. And yeah, this is the name of the SI units: mass, kilogram, second. These are the names of the SI units, and these 7 are the symbols of the SI unit, in which we already know 3 symbols, that is mass, and this is length, mass and this is time. these three fundamental quantities, but this A, capital A is for ampere, it is a symbol of ampere, the current, and K is Kelvin, which is used to express the temperature, and CD is for candela, that is the luminous intensity, and mole. Mole is, it is the SI symbol of the amount of the substance. So this is about the SI system, okay, the SI system, and we discussed about the three other system of units, FPS, CGS and MKS, okay, and we discussed about what is units, what are fundamental units and what are derived units. So students, in this particular part we discussed about what is meant by unit and what are derived units, what are fundamental units, and we also discussed about the system of units. We discussed about CGS system, MKS system, FPS system and SI system, okay. So this is all we discussed in this particular part.